From MTN News, you're watching Montana This Morning.
Well, if you're ready for a big day of cyber shopping, take a breath. Coming up, we've got advice for how to get all that holiday shopping done while still protecting your bank account and your privacy.
And learn what incoming President Joe Biden may change in immigration policy and what changes he might want to make, but won't be able to act because of measures taken by the administration of the outgoing President Trump.
Well, good Monday morning to you. It is 6:30 on your last day of November.
It is.
And
I love it when you guys do that, but I hate it as well.
Why?
Because I'm not.
Do you feel
I'm not
pressure?
ready for Christmas yet.
Oh,
you guys are like, oh look,
and your
Thanksgiving,
and
the
your
last day
kids,
of.
and your kids are.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still preparing for Labor Day weekend, so I don't know.
Is that
Maybe I'm
coming
behind.
up?
You know how that is.
I just, that's why I roll the way I do. I buy my own self Christmas.
I love the way that you guys think. Temperatures this morning into the single digits and teens. I do. It's going to be a little breezy as you head into the afternoon. We are tracking the potential of some light snow. It's not a lot of accumulation, but enough that it may be more of a nuisance, especially on passes around the area through the afternoon, early evening. Beautiful morning, though. It's just a little chilly. Daytime temperatures back into the 40s. It looks like our highs will be holding into the 40s, but the wind will be picking up with the potential of snow. We're going to break down the timing of all this coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, President-elect Biden expected to announce more transition moves this week, including more appointments.
But the president-elect will have to wait until January 20th to start officially enacting policies like immigration reform.
So what will President-elect Biden change with immigration, and what will he struggle to do on his own? Our Joe St. George explains.
They are some of the most controversial actions President Trump took over the last 4 years. Immigration reform, building the wall, ending DACA, refugee restrictions. So what could President-elect Biden change? Well, executive orders will be issued, likely on day one, to reinstate DACA protections, which would keep 650,000 plus immigrants who came to the U.S. as children in the United States. Biden will also stop the prohibition of foreigners entering the U.S. from several Muslim-majority countries. Not to mention, Biden is expected to allow more refugees and will stop directing funds to build more of the border wall. Now, President-elect Joe Biden will be able to change some of President Trump's immigration policies with a stroke of the pen. It'll change right away, but others will take time. Perhaps even years. What will President-elect Biden struggle to change? Well, he won't be able to take down the 400-plus miles of border wall President Trump built. It'll also be difficult for him to instruct 20,000-plus asylum seekers living in Mexico awaiting court hearings to suddenly enter the United States. Biden will also struggle to end privately run detention centers because of contracts. The president-elect will also need Congress to pass any true immigration reform, which would make it easier for those outside the United States to become citizens. Many of Biden's critics in the U.S. Senate will caution the most important thing that must be protected is the border. Remember, 2 runoff elections in Georgia in January will determine control of the Senate and the future of what immigration bills may get passed into law. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
In other national headlines, Supreme Court set to hear oral arguments in a census case today. The case is Trump versus New York. Trump administration attempting to exclude undocumented immigrants from being tallied when congressional seats are reallocated nationwide next year. A federal panel issued an injunction back in September blocking Commerce Department from carrying out the Trump administration's order. Now the justices will decide if the directive can be enforced. The hearing will be held by telephone conference due to coronavirus pandemic.
Well, it's Cyber Monday, and you may be primed for some great holiday deals.
But don't forget to play it safe. Here's Maribel Aber with some tips for keeping your digital shopping experience secure this holiday season.
You've got your holiday shopping list ready to go when you flag some great online sales. But before you buy anything, follow a few simple steps to avoid getting scammed. The Washington Post recently pulled together a list of tips to help you shop safely. Number 1, don't use a debit card. Credit cards offer fraud protection that debit cards don't. It can be a lot harder to get a refund on a debit card purchase. And that credit card you're using, don't store the information online. It can be stolen. Also, if you let your kids use devices where your payment data is stored, they can pretty easily make a purchase, whether they mean to or not. Next, beware of phishing emails. If a deal is legit, You'll find it directly on the company's website. Same thing goes for tracking links. Do not click on them. Go directly to the shipping company's website. Next tip, give out as little personal information as possible. It's best to check out as a guest. If you have to set up an account in order to get that great deal, delete the account after you've made your purchase. Finally, make sure you're shopping on a secure website. It should have HTTPS in the URL. The S stands for secure. There should also be a lock icon on the address bar.
Advice there here on Cyber Monday. 6:35 now. Family and friends of a young Missoula woman who died while scuba diving in Glacier National Park are remembering her as a bright light in this world. An 18-year-old who was compassionate and funny with a sense of adventure. A young woman ready to take on the world.
She may be gone, but it is hoped a memorial in her name will help lift up those who need it so they too can live their best life. Jill Valley has her story.
Lynnette Rose Mills, named after the flower that grows abundantly in Montana. During her 18 years on this earth, this young woman developed a worldview much bigger than just the big sky.
Lynnette had a non-linear lifestyle. Like she didn't really care about what she was supposed to do or what other people did. She did things that she wanted to enjoy.
Her family lived for a time halfway around the world in Bhutan. She was just a child then, but right now, thousands of butter lights burn in honor of her.
You know, she was our Buddha baby, this peaceful child, like this. People remember her because she was this kind of little shiny light.
My name is Lynnette.
Her life was filled with friends and family. She was a lifeguard for Missoula's Parks and Rec. She played on the Hellgate High golf team. She worked for the Missoula Boys and Girls Club every Friday and was about to start a new job in a local group home. She recently embarked on a 7,000-mile road trip with just her dog. Not surprising she'd take on that adventure. By the age of 15, she was already a certified scuba diver and explored the Great Barrier Reef. She had a passion for diving. But November 1st, while in an advanced scuba diving course at Lake McDonald in Glacier Park, something went wrong, and she drowned. While the family waits for an investigation to detail what happened, they're simply remembering Lynnette.
On November 1st, she died doing something that she truly loved doing, and I think that if there's one way you can think of Lynnette, it's that she just wanted to help others and spend her life exploring and doing things she loved.
We knew that we had to let her spread her wings. She's always been a very safe, careful, thoughtful person. She's loved adventure. That was the kind of person she wanted to be and we wanted her to be.
That's what she did. She found like her strengths and she figured it out. And she was so excited about what's next. You know, what I could say is she was doing what she loved. I mean, I will say that. There's no doubt she was pursuing every passion.
The family has started the Lynnette Rose Mills Memorial Fund. Her brother Nick is the administrator with her close friends as advisors. They plan to use the money for things Lynnette would want, for people in need, for troubled or suicidal youth. Instead of thinking what could have been, her family remembers what was.
In a way, I've come to peace with the fact that her life was going to be 18 years, and that's a tough one for a mother, you know.
In Missoula, Jill Valley, MTN News.
6:39, we're going to shift gears a bit. City of Billings, no stranger to dazzling Christmas light displays around the Christmas season.
For years, one Billings woman has tracked all the best spots in town to view some Christmas lights. MTN's Mitch Laggy brings us more.
Billings has a long-standing tradition of lighting up the night for the holiday season with brightly colored Christmas lights. And since 2013, Angie Whitecotton has been compiling a map to show Billings residents the best places to go.
I mean, there's so many good houses in Billings, and there's no way you can do the whole map in one day.
Whitecotton was born and raised in Billings, but moved out of Montana 2 years ago. She still curates the Christmas light map with the help of another local associate. With everyone having been cooped up in their houses over the pandemic, White Cotton said people are chomping at the bit to see the homeowners' displays this year.
But people definitely are. I've had a lot of people asking like weeks ago when the map's going to be out. And I'm like, well, most people don't put their lights on until the first of at least Thanksgiving. So I usually post it usually the day after Thanksgiving.
White Cotton said she has a lot of first-time houses on the map this year, and plenty of locations that have years of experience. On the interactive Google map, each location marked in blue has been going for 15 years or longer. Many houses already have their lights up and going. Some others wait until December to flip the switch. Regardless, taking a drive to see the community's Christmas cheer is fun for the whole family.
At least with this, that it gives people the reason to get out of the house and go have fun.
In Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Do love the Christmas lights.
Absolutely.
Love to see them.
I love it.
Yep.
Are you ready to do your job from paradise? You mean this isn't
Never
paradise?
thought about it.
Well, if you say yes, then the trip could be free. Find out what that's all about after the break.
More to follow on that, but first let's check in with Tony DeCopel to see what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, officials are warning about a post-Thanksgiving coronavirus surge on top of a surge. We're going to talk to a member of President-elect Joe Biden's COVID-19 advisory board about what you can do to prepare. Also, millions of Americans are getting ready to ship their holiday packages. How their on-time arrival could be complicated by the distribution of another important package, coronavirus vaccines. Finally, Matthew McConaughey. He's now a New York Times best-selling author. The Academy Award winner talks to us about how a break from Hollywood helped reboot his career. Hard to imagine it needed rebooting. We'll see you at 7.